What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome. We're going to do a training, the only one you're ever going to need to maximize PartnerCo's very first ever global invite to Ignite events. So take down some notes. You're going to want to share this with every single teammate that you have. I'm going to make it very simple to help you to be able to maximize all of these. So I hope you're doing amazing. Share this with your team and everything as we go through. Let me make sure that I can do a quick comment here as we are doing this live. Okay. So today, as I'm doing this live, marks the very first time that we are doing this opportunity call. And if you're anything like me, what we all want is we want more excited brand partners. Who here wants people that are not just in your business, they're not just buying the product, which are all amazing, but they're actually running with you? How do we get people that are as excited as we are for the business aspect? It's actually very logical. The only way that somebody can be excited about the business is they have to see the value of the business. And I just want to remind us on how business or any sales organization works. Tim Sales talks about the pipeline. It's a process that we all go through to get informed from someone that's uneducated to someone that's educated and then excited. So for someone to take action in the business, they have to see something about the business. And for most people, we're actually not presenting the business. Most people, we're talking about the drops or amazing products. Most people, we might then talk about getting a discount. But then we wonder, why is it that somebody isn't excited about the business? Well, they don't know the value of the business. And that's what Invite to Ignite is, a global initiative in every single market for the best presenters, the best closers to come on and present for you on your behalf. Okay. So I'm going to be referring to a board that we have, which is the Invite to Ignite boards. I'd encourage to go through it, and I just get the most essential things that are in here. One thing that's important to have is there is this global partner code flip book. And when you open it up, it'll talk about every single speaker and every single call schedule in every single market, from the United States to Canada to Europe to China to Japan to Australia, New Zealand to Latin America. So keep these in mind as you're inviting, because you want to know where you can invite them to. Now, the question is, how do I invite them to this? Let me start with what not to do. These are least effective. The things to not to do is to go on your social media and spam everybody with all the call information. Don't put the flip book up. Don't think that just by linking people or don't just cold message people with this flip book. Like, that's not effective. The biggest mistake that we make in this business is we don't separate the presentation and the invitation. What you do want to do is you want to learn how to invite. Invite is to talk to someone personally. This is not a group blast. This is not an announcement. This is not you gather a big group chat. This is one on one. You talk to someone specifically and personally, and you invite that person so that they can see the opportunity itself. So we're going to become professional inviters, and then we're going to direct them to specific calls that can help them as well too. Okay. Another thing that I would do is we need to start with a goal. Nothing will be effective if you do not have a goal in mind. And if I were to submit one minimum goal for everyone, if you want to actually leverage this opportunity, if you want to have for sure results, if you want to leave this with excited partners to run with you, I'm going to challenge you on this. And I wonder if you'll accept. Comment, challenge accepted if you do accept this. Here's what I would do. Well, here's what I am doing. Invite at least 10 prospects to come on to a live call. 10. Put a 10 in the comments if you're with me. You want to have 10 prospects live. This is not brand partners. These are 10 prospects. on any of the calls around the world. Because if you have 10, law of averages states at least one will get started. In fact, I'd submit probably two will get started. Because when you put prospects in front of a live presentation, like on Zoom, and then in front of our best closers, higher odds that they're going to be able to get started. I'll show you how to talk to them and I'll show you how to follow up with them afterwards in this training. So aim for 10. Challenge accepted? All right. Why would I do that? Here's the biggest goal that I would aim for everyone to be a part of and to leverage. Because this goal for me, it isn't just when I'm going through this invite to Ignite, I'm not just looking to get someone started. Now, that's great. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking to launch out of this. I want this to ignite my business. I'm sure you do too. So, the biggest thing that I want to leverage is this initiative that we just put together. Brent Palmer and ourselves, we've decided to collaborate. And both of us were former top one global power rankers. Coach Palmer, I mean, he is the best of the best when it comes to leaders of leaders. And we have expanded upon, we've been running a group called the Millionaire Mentorship for half a year now. And those that have been officer and above the top 1% have come as a byproduct from this group. Because what we've realized is phase one in our business, launching, going through our systems, attracting, getting to ultimate, getting paid is great. But phase two is just as important. Phase two is the real business, I would say. Phase two is duplication and leadership and mindset and other skills and attraction, lead generation, and all these things. We have opened up to the world this millionaire mentorship. If you're already in it, put MM in the comments below. And if not, this is your chance. And I would want to make sure that not just myself, but I get my team into this challenge before February 11th. February 11th, we are formally launching our first ever growth challenge. It's going to be a 30-day challenge. It's going to be fun, prizes, growth though. And you're going to see how your business and your team scales through this. So why would I would be aiming, if I'm not in the Millionaire Mentorship, to get into it. How do you get into it? Well, one of them is enrolling 2 activated brand partners. That's why I'd want to bring 10 prospects onto these calls, and then going ultimate as well too. Best odds of you getting somebody started in the business is get them in front of these live presentations. If you've already done it, what am I also looking for? If I'm already in this group, then I want to bring new people and help them get qualified and into this millionaire mentorship so I can leverage this opportunity to help others grow. If you have leaders duplicate in your team, that's when you get exponential growth and freedom and impact. If that sounds like something that you want, put I want that in the comments below. All right. So that's my challenge that I would do. And I'd submit to everyone else here, get at least 10 prospects to come on to any one of our live calls that are happening throughout this time frame. And we have many different opportunities. One final note there before we talk about how to do it. Don't let your minimum be your maximum. If you do 10, keep on going. Maximize this. I'm using this like crazy. I want to get as many people in front of the information as possible. And the numbers will fall where they have to be. Okay, so now how do we get these 10? I would start with a list. I would recommend have a list of your top 20, top 50, top 100. Think about people that you would love to have in your business. We're going to bring it back old school. Be intentional, right? Where would I get my list? Go through your phone list, go through your Facebook friends. Look at anybody, high priority, those that have engaged with any of your business or product posts before. High priority, if you have existing customers are perfect to prospect and bring onto an event like this. Who else is high on the list? People that have the attributes of who you're looking for. You're looking to partner, you're looking to scout, you're looking to find your board of directors. You don't just want everyone. I'll take everyone, but I want to be selective with who I'm going to. I'm going to go proactively reach out to people. I want leaders. I want ambitious people. I want positive people. So make a list and just put them down somewhere. Okay. Now, when I have that list, how do we then talk to them? I'm going to go back to our boards, and I've put together some really simple tools in here. So, by the way, we have a global call flyer page here as well too. So, if you're in any of these markets, we have the various flyers that you want to use. These flyers I wouldn't post. These flyers I wouldn't necessarily use as like a promotional thing. These are more so for information after the fact. Okay. So, what would I do though? I would go to this invite scripts folder. So, let me walk through this. In here, I talk about there's a 4-step invite breakdown that you can follow for any invitation. And I broke down an opportunity invite and then a product wellness invite. There's 2 types of calls happening in various markets. Some have just opportunity, some have opportunity and product. So you can determine which one you're looking for. For sake of this example, though, we're going to be very opportunity focused. So let's go to opportunity invites. And here's some baseline scripts that you can utilize. In here, currently, I've divided 6 types of prospects. They're all very similar, but you want to think, who am I talking to and which one could align with them? So there's an invite script, and then there's a simple when they say yes script. Okay. So let's say there's a general prospect. This is someone you haven't talked about the business of the product before, a normal person, but someone you feel is someone you'd love to share this opportunity with. I might use something like this. Now, personalize it. Pro tip, if you're using something like ChatGPT, you can take this, put it into ChatGPT and say, personalize it to your tone. Or just think about it, right? Like you don't want to be like a robot, but you also don't want to be so like creative on this where it totally disrupts the flow. The flow is going to work. This is what I'm saying. So the general script will go something like this. Hey, name, I hope you're doing amazing. Notice a little out of the blue. You came to mind. I love you're determined and self-motivated or whatever reason why you thought about that. I've partnered with a global wellness company. It's already doing 400 million a year. It's going to a billion in a few years. And it's showing people how to make money online in a fun, simple way just by helping others. What I've loved the most is the type of people we're attracting, impact driven, inspiring, and servant hearted leaders and professionals. So if you see my flow here, I'm actually leaning on the community because in these calls, I believe our X factor, yes, the opportunity, but it's not about what it is, it's about who you know. Would anyone agree that one of our big value propositions in PartnerCo is our people? So if we know that that's a value proposition, I'm going to talk about our people because people want to be around a lot of other amazing people. Okay. And all of the people that are speaking are amazing. I already know. So I talk about that as invitation. We're in a fast expansion phase. We're looking to partner with some like-minded people. That's why I thought about you. We're doing a few quick calls next week where these amazing people be sharing how it all works. Wondering if you'd be open to any opportunities and learning more. I love to share. Guys, just see how simple that is. Okay. Now, I would have this assuming you've had some type of dialogue with them. It's not complete. I wouldn't just cold message people. My rule of thumb when I invite someone, if I've had some rapport established with them within the last 90 days, you've been going back and forth on social media. You're friends, right? You're acquaintance. Like it wouldn't be just random and weird that you're actually having a conversation with them. If you feel that's the case, then we can just go and invite. If you feel it's not the case and you're like, ah, man, I haven't talked for 5 years, you might just want to start a quick conversation. And as you have a conversation, be inquisitive, listen, and maybe on that conversation, see an opportunity where you can invite, or you'll just keep that in your back pocket. And then the next conversation, you might want to invite. I hope that makes sense. But I'll go with an invitation like this. Okay. I've put in some other general categories that are most popular. There are those that are already aware you're promoting the drops and the products. Maybe they've been watching your posts. You've had a little bit of dialogue. So the front end of this is just a little different. Not much different, but just a little, right? The difference here says, as you know, I've been sharing these drops and helping people with their health, but I want to share something exciting with you, right? So the rest is pretty much the same. I also have one for current customer. One of the best ways to enroll excited brand partners is talk to your excited customers. Great opportunity. Very similar invitation. The difference is up front. It says, I know you've been using our products. I wanted to share with you something exciting. And also in this edification part, I put in parentheses, not only can you make money, but you can also get the products for less, right? Because they're using the product. That might interest them. I also have one for a business prospect. Maybe you've talked to somebody about the opportunity, they didn't join yet. So this is a follow-up. So I'll start with something like, hey, I know we've talked about opportunities in the past, but timing wasn't right. I want to share something huge going on that could benefit you. And then you go into the rest of the invitation. Same thing. I hope you're seeing the pattern here. There's also a chicken list. I challenge you to talk to your chicken list. Respected leaders in your life, influential people. This one is more humble and it submits to them being one of your influential people. You're getting their feedback, you're getting their opinion on this one. And then finally, a network marketing leader. If you know someone that's in network marketing or has been in network marketing, they've been a leader. Like they actually built the business, right? They made more than $1,000 a month. They had a team, they had some experience. There's a very specific network marketing leader invite that we use. Guys, I've used these for over a decade. I've trained these for over a decade. They all work very well. They cut right to the point, but they will work in numbers. Okay. If you want someone to say yes, if you have 5 conversations and they're actually going back and forth and you invite 5 people, you're probably going to get at least one of them because they're going to be interested to learn right now, maybe 2. Okay. So don't expect you talk to 10 and then 10 say yes. Expect that you're going to go through some numbers and the seed will land on right ground. Okay. Also, a no response does not mean they rejected you. I only collect decisions, right? So we're going to have to talk to, it's a funnel, right? We have to talk to 100 and then maybe you'll get 20. And then out of 20, maybe you'll get 2 or 4 that get started. But remember, our target and the challenge is get 10 people in front of a presentation, which might mean you might have to invite 50 people. Hey, if that could get you 2 leaders, is that worth it? 2 leaders in this business is 6-figure income. Okay. Regardless how you're approaching the invite, when they say, yes, I'm interested, then what do? Simple next thing I would do is this, because we have like a lot of calls. So which one do you pick? I'll say something like this. Awesome. Here's some of the calls coming up. They're just 30 minutes. And I'll send that market's call flyer. So if I'm in the United States, I'll go to the United States folder and be like, here's a schedule. What time and date works best for you? Right? So I might send them something like this one, right? Here's the United States one. Which time and date works best for you? And they might say, well, January 22nd, 11 a.m. Mountain works best for me. Perfect. I'll see you there, right? Give them the link. The links are all in these pages and they're also in the boards as well too. Okay. So that is how I would generally talk to somebody personally and invite them. Now, some of us are asking, well, what should I do on social media? Social media, if you wanted to use social media, do the same things we're already doing. We say post twice a day, post in your stories. But one thing that I'd recommend on social media, if you wanted to, is social media is the place to share stories. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to share some things that I know and respect about the people that are going to be on the calls. And I'm going to use that as an opportunity to invite people in. So an example, I posted this today, and you may or may not decide to do this. This is secondary. My primary is directly going and talking to someone. But if you wanted some passive attraction things that may work, maybe not, then this is what you can do too. So there's a call that's coming up with Annika Bell. I know Annika, and I have high regard. So I put together a post that talks about some of the things that I admire and I respect about her as a person, as a leader, and the value that she's brought to my life. And then I'm saying, if you want to meet her or hear from her, let me know. You can do that with anybody that's on any of these calls, any of these flyers. Okay. So, and you don't need if you have a picture with them, it's great. If you don't have a picture with them, you can take a photo of them if you want. Um, but this is secondary. Once again, the primary thing, if you could only do one thing, is make your list, pick the right invite, and go invite people. That will have the best results no matter what. If you have some extra time, you can post as well too, if you would like. I've made this post, even though it is Sunday. I have 1 like on this, 2 likes on this. Like it's not effective at the moment, but it's nice to have because I am marketing, I am promoting. All right, cool. Final part. You bring them onto the call. Now what? They're probably not by themselves afterwards going to be like, where do I sign? What do I do? I'm ready. You're going to have to follow up. How do you follow up with somebody? In this invite to Ignite folder, I've also put presentation follow-up scripts. This is how I would follow up with somebody. I have business follow-up and product follow-up. For this example, I'm just going to do business. And I have a flow that I'll go through. Anyone can go through this flow. Let me walk through this. So I bring Bob onto the presentation. I follow up with him afterwards. My first question. Hey, Bob, I'm so glad you're able to make that call. What impacted you the most? By the way, you can do this over the phone. You can do this over Messenger. You can do this over a memo. Same with invitation. My recommendation when you're inviting is to do something, a voice memo is good. I like to do. If you want, you can call them. In person's hard because they're going to ask you questions, but you can if you want. You can text, but for me, I like voice, especially when dealing with opportunity, because they can hear your voice and your emotion, and you can feel personable. Okay. So let's say I'm talking to them afterwards. You might hop on a call with them. The more direct you can get in conversation, the better. Could be a Zoom, could be a phone call. But let's say I'm just doing it over Messenger. I'm going back and forth. Bob, I'm so glad you're able to make the call. What impacted you the most? I'm getting a positive thing. You notice what I'm not saying. I'm not saying, what did you think? Too generic, right? Automatically, most people think negative. So if you say, what'd you think? Like, it's too long. Whatever, right? I'm gonna say, what impacted you the most? And they'll say, whatever, right? I just want to get a sense of what they're interested in. They might say, that story was incredible. I love the positive community. Great. Second question. I'm going to now go, and what's the most important in opportunity is knowing what they want. So I'm going to ask them, so if you could achieve anything you wanted through a business like this, how much money would you want to earn monthly for it to be worth your time? Let me change the spelling here. Okay. I'm getting a sense of what they want, because if you don't know what they want, you can't help them with the business. Okay. If you can help enough people get what they want, get everything you want. Most people, they're not thinking this. They don't know. If we're going to ask, like, what would you want? They might say $1,000 a month would be great. Anything more than what I'm making right now is good. $10,000 a month, whatever that it is, they're great. And you might want to spend a little bit of time. If you're not getting a specific answer, help them. Guide them a little bit. What would you use it for? Right? Have a cool conversation. You're helping people dream again. And most people stop dreaming after school. Okay. Once you have their goal, number 3, we're going to say something like this. Great goals. We can totally achieve that. We can, right? I mean, this business can pay basically anything that most people want. Besides next steps and getting started, did you have any questions I could help answer? Yes, yeah, you're always ending with a question. The person that asked the question is in charge. So I'm always asking and leading with a question. And what are they going to do? They might say, no, I'm ready to get started. Or they might have some questions. What do you do if they have questions? 2 things. If you feel confident answering the question, then answer it and continue in the conversation. Best way to answer a question, by the way, use a story. Bob says, I don't think I'm good at sales. I'll say, you know what? That's exactly how my friend Paula Allen felt. But you know what's amazing? She loved the products and she loved helping people. Now she's got promoted gosh, I think like 7 times, has made this into a really fun side hustle that's turned into a passion. We have great systems that can help you win. So as long as you're someone that loves people and you're willing to learn, you can do this too. Does that make sense? Right? So you might use a story to answer the objection. What I'd highly recommend though, especially in business, is if you're like, I don't exactly want to, I want to leverage here. Okay. Be a good messenger. So with a question, I would use a three-way message or call. Third party is powerful because they don't shoot the messenger. So I'm going to edify a third party. Let's say Bob asked me that question. I'm not good at selling. Do I have to be good at sales for this? You know what, Bob? That's a great question. I'd love to I want to make sure I answer it right. I want to introduce you to my friend James Laponzi. He has a lot more experience with this business than I do, and I know he can help us. Right? Just boom. I'm going to edify someone else, and I'm going to bring them into the mix. I'm going to start a three-way message with James. Now I have James and Bob in the same chat room, and I'll say, "Hey, Bob, this is my good friend and partner, James. He's a successful entrepreneur. He has a lot of experience in a business like this. I know he's going to help us. Or I want to edify the expert. And then to that person, that edified third party, I want to bring a little bit of background about Bob so they know. Because the number one question people ask when they meet someone is, how do you know each other? So let me go field that question. James, Bob's a good friend. We used to work together. He's someone that's ambitious, loves helping people. And he had some questions about this business. He had a concern about selling and if you had to be good at sales. You see how I'm going to help the edified third party to bridge that gap. This way, James can go right into it and not be awkward. So, how do you guys know each other? So, do you have any questions? Save that. Be a professional and go cut through that, right? Make it easy for the third party to help you. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Then they'll answer the question, they'll move to the next stages. I hope this makes sense. Once they're ready to get started, there's only going to be so many questions. Then there's a couple follow-up scripts, right? Awesome. Here's some options to get started. I always recommend to get close to ultimate as possible so you can lock top pay. There's a video I always link. This is our how and why to go ultimate with PartnerCo. So it gives the value of ultimate. What level would you want to get started at? So you can choose what some of your popular packages are. There's many different packs you can choose. But what I like to sell more in business is the value of ultimate. And then they can see how they want to get it started. They select their pack. Here's your link. You can make your smart link. When can you get started by? Once you get your ID number, I'll show you next steps. And then they get started. And this is when we link them into our onboarding system so they can launch right away. There is the complete pipeline of how to go from prospect to new partner. Utilize the boards, follow the flow, utilize third party, leverage these calls. I hope that is clear. It's very simple. So what would I be doing? Make your list, have your goal of having at least 10 people show up to these calls. I'm probably going to have to reach out to at least 50 people, maybe more, maybe less. But I know that I'm going to keep on doing it until I get 10 on the call. Because I know if I get 10, I'm probably going to get 2 started. So with that said, last note is you can also make as many of these calls as you want yourself. It will be good training for presenting. It will be good training for belief building. The best way I did learn to present and to close was to see how the best did it. And what a remarkable opportunity to go around the world and sit at the feet at the best people at their craft. So yes, bring yourself onto that. Yes, bring your teammates onto that. But don't only do that. Use this as a growth opportunity for your business. Don't keep this gift just to yourself. Let's get 10 onto these calls. Let's get you and your people into the Millionaire Mentorship. So this isn't just a one and done thing, but this becomes the pivot point to igniting your business to that next level. So with that, review the boards, have fun with it. If you have any questions, let all of your leaders know. But I hope that was helpful. and let's go ignite your business, win all the promos, do all the cool things. Okay. So if there's any other questions, feel free to comment them below. We'll answer those as we go. Let's crush it. Bye bye. Bye bye.